All right, here we go. JR, I'm going to let you go first, man. Let's start with the offense. Let's go offensive player of the game. Who you got?
Well, I wish I could pick more than one, but I'll stick with one, and I will agree with Ohio State's offensive player of the game in Quinshawn Judkins. I felt like he had kind of a bounce back after being a little bit nervous. It seemed like the first game, and then coming into this game, he had the big, huge run that should have stayed, but unfortunately the penalty brought it back. So I did feel for him there, but could have had 3 touchdowns. Heck, two's okay as well. So love to see that, and love to see how hard he was working, how he's hitting those holes. So Quinshawn Judkins, my offensive player of the game.
My turn? Okay. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with the guy I've been saying is the best in the country all year. I'm going with J.J. Smith. 5 for 119, a touchdown. And your boy Q, as great as he was, doesn't get that second touchdown if J.J. didn't throw that block.
That could be true just about any run, though, if you really break it down. All right, I'm going to play Aaron Brown this week. I'm going with Will Howard and the offensive line. Will Howard's numbers were really good on Sunday, and he almost threw for 300 yards.
In the
He
half.
break, yeah, he had a passing touchdown. He had a to J.J. Smith. He had a rushing touchdown. And I remember some people, I forget, someone said it in the chat. Maybe it was you, Chris, saying you were talking with somebody who said that Will Howard is basically uh, McCord. There is a huge difference. It's the feet of Will Howard and the just physical strength he has. And I went with the offensive line. I don't know of anybody who has dogged that offensive line the last 2 years more than Chris and I have. And yesterday was the first. And again, I understand this is just Western Michigan. Do it against a top ranked team. But before you can do it against Penn State, before you can do it against Nebraska, Iowa, Oregon, team up north, you first have to do it against Western Michigan. And they did. And by the way, the running schemes that Chip Kelly is running, where he is pulling the offensive
Everybody.
line, the guards, the tackles, and things,
The center was
dude.
cold, you know?
Hey, I actually saw Jimmy Simmons pull from the left and was the lead
Yeah.
blocker around on the right, and he got there this week. Like he wasn't
They're,
late.
they are playing at another level right now.
And that run
They
that
really
Quinn,
are.
the second TD run Quinn had, where it was to the left and the
Yeah.
entire line shifted that way, it was like an avalanche, dude. Like he didn't get touched until he was 15 yards deep, and by then it was too late. So, offensive line gets the entire Buckeye Leaf for me. All right, defensive player of the game. I think JR's
Me,
first.
right? Okay. I mean, there's a lot of really deserving guys. I lean a little bit to Caleb Downs just because last week he did have 3 missed tackles, and he comes in this week, gets a sack, and was just very disruptive with everything he was doing in the game. I really enjoyed that, but I think I have to give it to the guy who came back and got a sack right away when he first came back, which is Cody Simon. It was excellent to see him out there. These linebackers are doing very, very well under James Laurinaitis, and I think that Cody Simon is proof in that just by himself. You have other guys that are proof, but Cody Simon by himself is just massive proof of James Laurinaitis and what he's doing with this team.
You, you know, there's so many guys you could go with. Um, Cody Simon, I was kind of tossed, going back and forth between him and Jack Sawyer, but I think I got to agree with JR here. I'm going to go with Cody Simon as well. But easily could have gone with Jack, could have gone with Caden McDonald, who had a huge game.
He
Yep.
did.
He was all over for getting those hands up. Man, that guy's wingspan for a guy that it's
We
ridiculous.
we have some freaks on the defensive line, like Edric Houston does
Yeah,
not look human.
what
His
is it?
arms are so long.
7 foot. He's got a 7 foot wingspan or something like that. They
Yes.
said ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with Jr. Though. I gotta agree with Cody.
For all you who just showed up, a bunch of people who just showed up, I apologize for my voice tonight. dealing with a cold this evening. For the first time this year, we're going to all agree on the same one. First time, Cody Simon. He's going to get 3 Buckeye Leaves from the OHIO podcast gang tonight. Give him 3 defensive player of the game. Welcome back, team captain and recipient of the Blocko jersey. And I'm telling you straight up, just like I said at the beginning of the show, that linebacking room looked and felt very different with him in there. All right, offensive play of the game, JR.
Oh, offensive player of the game. I definitely think it was the Jeremiah Smith touchdown pass. At the beginning, they bit on the screen, but he went and took the slant and just took it for 6. I think that was my favorite offensive play of the game.
JR, I'd love to agree with you. And I think it probably was the best play of the game, and it set the tone for the whole game. But there was one play that I'm going to go with just because I truly loved it just a little bit more. And that was, how about saying to Christensen, the 55-yard, or Christian, yeah,
Bennett
to
Christian.
Bennett Christian, the 55-yard touchdown pass. The kid's the future. I love it. I'm going with that one. And Ryan Day didn't just hand the ball off when he had a backup quarterback in there.
Well, you do realize that one of the reasons why is because he's not calling the plays.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So there's that too. I'm agreeing with JR. 70-yard TD reception, and here's why. He flat out smoked that defense, dude.
Oh, it was
Like
funny to watch them try to catch him from behind. That was hilarious.
it was like it was usually what we see this with running backs, right? Their freshman year, they burst into the backfield, and you're like, there they go, but then they get caught from behind. And as they get older, they develop more speed, and then they won't get caught from behind, right? He's got that speed already. He's got
Yeah.
next level speed. So
Well, they said it
that was
several
awesome.
times. He's an NFL player as a freshman in college. He really is. And I agree with Brian on his comment, by the way. The 80-yard touchdown run would have been the play of the game had it not been called back for holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last one. The defensive play or hit of the game, JR.
Oh boy, this is the one I couldn't make up my mind on. I mean, there was just so many
You want me
great
to go
moments
first?
and
Because
great plays.
I have an
I
obvious
got a
one.
couple that, yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, this is going to be a little bit against the rules on a little bit of errand with the Buckeye Leaf, but just every single time that Western Michigan would run the ball and the defensive line would dominate and push the entire offensive line of Western Michigan back, it was fantastic to see. So you guys go with your more specific plays, but that's my just like.
The
big
defensive
big
player
one
hit of
that's
the
not
game.
really an answer for you, but I just love seeing it every single time.
I literally just wrote it the D line against every Western Michigan run.
That's going to be
Yes.
fun for you to put on the graphic.
It fits. It fits. All right, I'll go next. I'm gonna go with Caleb Downs on that TFL. That dude was shot out of a cannon, and that guy's lucky he still has his legs attached to his hips. Because when he came in and took out his legs, that was impressive. His downfield speed from that safety position is scary good. Scary good. That's my defensive player hit of the game.
The hit for me, and there was a lot of them. But how about Sonny Styles on the running back? Was it late in the second quarter there? The running back came up and Sonny just, hit him so hard he lifted the guy off the ground. Stood him up. I loved it.
So we'll call that Sonny Styles decleated running back.
Pretty much.
There we go. That'll explain it, right?